G'day guys, welcome back. Welcome to Pouring Your Heart Out. Today I'm going to use this amazing, I think it's a lily inlay that I made the other day. Hopefully you saw that video. If not, I will link it for you in the top right hand corner towards the end of the video. So I'm going to use that. It's very thin. Someone said to me in one of my comments, won't the edges roll up? And I hope not. We'll find out. Like they should stick. Silicone sticks to silicone. So I'll have to give it a bit of a clean. It's got some dust on the back now from sitting out here. But yeah, let's hope. We'll just see what happens, hey? It wants to stick to that. It certainly wants to stick to my acrylic there. All right. Now, get started. I was going to use one of my flower molds, and so many of you said, use your butterfly mold. So okay, I haven't used my butterfly mold before, so kill two birds with one stone. This is my butterfly mold. Hopefully you can see there, we have butterflies all the way around the edges. So yeah, I'm going to do that. And then we'll put the inlay in the center. And I was kind of in two minds about, this is just a bit of a microfiber little cloth that I cut up for make a circle, just so that I don't make too much mess in my mold. Like normally you would back something like this with a black, dark color. I don't want to do that. I want it to be a little bit more delicate, a little bit more pretty. So I'm thinking like a clear, and then I thought maybe just a tiny little bit of blue. So it kind of looks as if it's flowers and butterflies, you know, against the pale blue sky. So that's kind of what I've got in my mind. Now I'm going to use Arteza marker powders today. I've got iris purple and light plum, and I'm going to use that first of all to do my butterflies with. So I'll do a couple, and then while you're watching, and then I'll just finish them off. Yeah, without having the video going, because it's going to take too long and you can see what I'm doing. So I've just got my little makeup brush here, and I'll do every second one in pink, and then I'll come back and I'll do all the others in purple. And when I'm making the mold, I don't say, oh gosh, I need to have equal numbers or something, because what if you decide you want 3 different colors? You know, then you're going to have a different number of butterflies, because someone said, oh, why don't you make it so that, you know, you don't have to have 2 of the same color next to each other. And I'm thinking, well, it's all well and good if you only got 2 colors, but if you got 3 colors, then it's not a problem. Anyway, I don't count the number when I'm making my molds. It's just whatever fits. So that's basically going to be the pink, and then the purple in here, like so. Tap the brush before we bring it over, because we don't want too much mica powder coming out. It's just more cleanup to have to do. So basically that's what I'm going to do. So I'll finish all of this, and then I'll come back to you, and we'll do the lily. Or is it an iris? Oh gosh, I don't know. All right, so that's all done now. It's a little bit messy, but I'm going to tidy it up. Now the wipes that I use, it's an old baby wipe container, but I use just the cheapy cleaning wipes, so that there's no lotion in it, because you don't want to put any oils on. So that's what's in my, I call them baby wipes, but they're just, you know, household cleaning wipes. So I'll move that out of the way. I did take it over to the bin in blue to get all the excess mica powder dust off. So basically, now can you see the little area there that I've just sort of wiped between those 2 butterflies? Look, it's up to you how much you want to tidy up. But I've just sort of wiped between those 2. There's a little ridge there. Don't have to. I'm just going to do that on all of them. Doesn't take very long to do. So I ended up having 2 butterflies with the same color next to each other, as you do, of course. It wouldn't happen if I had 3 colors. So what I did was I just did half the butterfly pink and the other half of the butterfly's wings in purple. So easy fix. All right, so that's that. And then if you wanted to, you could just go in there with your baby wipe as well, just in that area there where the head is, just like that. Tidy it up a little bit. Again, it's not difficult to do. Doesn't take very long. There's all the little bits on my wipe. So once the side of the mold is cleaned up, then I need to go into the center there because I've got some overspray there. So what I'm going to do is again use my little baby wipe, put my finger in there like that, and I'm just going to run that around the edge of the mold like that, then move to another clean section just to get any overflow off that center there. Now don't use these paper towels. It's too rough and it's going to actually smear, scratch, leave a mark on your mold. And don't put your fingers on the mold either. You'll leave fingerprints. Molds are very specific. They don't like to be touched. So if you're going to touch it with a wipe of some kind that's, you know, that's wet. It's just easier that way. All right, I think we're good to go, you guys. I think we're good. All right, now to dry that, again, don't wipe it. If there's a hair in it, you can get your tape and just get any bits of hair, fluff, glitter, whatever you've got on there. Now to dry it, again, don't use your paper towel to dry it. Grab another one of these. I buy these like in a big pack like that. You can just put that on there and you can just rub, because I've left a few little like water spots from my wipe. Just do that, okay? And that's how you dry it. Perfect. Look at that. Just like I bought one. I can see a little bit of mica powder still on there. All right, so that's pretty much it. Pretty much it as far as preparation goes. All right, now this little guy. Where's my wipe gone? I'll just give him a little bit of a clean as well with my wipe, because he's been sitting on my bench and he's probably got some bits of dust and mica powder and stuff on it. So give that a good clean, again just with my baby wipe. I haven't added any isopropyl alcohol at all. And this, if you search maybe eyeglass microfiber or something like that, you can buy these. I just get them on eBay. Okay, make sure it's nice and clean. All right, I think we're good to go. Preparation's important. You want to make sure that you're going to get a good contact, so you don't want any hair or dust or fluff that's going to stop your contact between your inlay and your mold. All right, now let's see if I can get this in one go. Hope it's going to fit. Actually, I might trim that a little bit. Oh, it doesn't matter. I guess it can just go up the side a bit, because I'd rather have this centered, and that's quite a bit longer. I'm just going to center my flower, and then if that goes up the side a little bit, then so be it. There we go. I think that's good. So it's going up the side a little bit. might actually trim that, because where it's going up, it's going to, I'm going to get resin underneath that. So I'm going to just trim those two. Obviously, if you had a bigger mold, you wouldn't need to, but I'm just going to trim it a little bit, or follow the same kind of shape there. But if you've got a bigger mold, you don't need to trim, but I don't think it's going to make any difference to the actual piece. Do a slight little curve on the end there. Silicone everywhere. Yeah, how's that? And then the same with this little one here. Just going to trim that off a bit. Okay, let's see how we go. We don't do it over your mold. Cut little bits off. That little bit of silicone. It does not want to come out. Silicone sticks to silicone, you guys. All right, let's try this again. Just going to move over just a tiny little bit. Okay. I think we're good. Push those down. Don't get your gloves on the actual silicone mold. Just put your gloves on the petals. Make sure you go right to the tips. Now this tip's gone up the side a bit. Now don't worry about me cutting bits off, okay, because I can easily make another one of these inlays. It's not a problem. I've got my little plate there, so I can make lots. So if you've got a smaller mold than this and you want to cut it back a little bit more, then you can do so, and you can just make another one as well. All right, now that that's done, we'll move on to the next part. So I'll get my brush again. We'll just clean it on there. And then I need to dry it. So because I've got like a dark pink and a dark purple, I just thought I might stick to, I've got this pale green, that's for the leaves, I know that. And I was initially going to do a dark pink in the center, followed by a lighter pink, and then I thought, I'm just going to do more classic. I'm going to leave that pink out because I've already got a dark pink. I'm going to do this lighter pink sort of in the center. And then I'm going to do this pearl white around the edges. I think I'll do that. And I've just had an idea. I think I might do, if I can. Where's my other silver? It's a bit big. That's better. My chrome pen. Let's see. Oh gosh, I don't know if I can do this. See this, the stamen or the little stalks? Let's just see if we can colour those in. Just to add a little bit more interest. I need to turn this around because they're a little bit raised. I don't know if this is this pen. I'll have to just be careful with it because it doesn't dry as fast as my Deco color pen dries. It might be easier just to paint it on afterwards, but look, I'll do this now, and then we can also add a little bit more afterwards. Once it's unmolded, we can add a little bit more silver, so we'll keep that out. There we go. All right, now Actually, I think I might do my white first because my brush is clean. So this is Arteza Pearl White. And I'm going to basically just go around the outside. Oh, I've just remembered something. I usually dust my inlays first and then put them in, but I was too excited to put it in, and so I've forgotten. Anyway, it's done now. Just so it keeps your mold clean, but I might have to just tidy up my mold afterwards then. So whatever touches your mold first is going to be the colour that is going to be seen when you unmold. Even if you go over with a different colour, the colour that touches first is the colour that you're going to see. So I'm just going around this with my white, and then I'll do some blending with the pink afterwards. But yeah, I should have dusted my inlay first. You forget these things, don't you? Even though you've done them before, I forgot that I needed to dust first. Too excited to get it in there. Oh, never mind. It'll be fine. I'll just have to clean up my mold afterwards. All right, so that's the lily there. And then I'll go in with my pale pink afterwards. This is just a pink that it's a few different colours mixed up. Just a few colours mixed up. Now you can go over your white now, because the white is going to be already touching that silicone mold inlay. So it doesn't matter if you go over the top of the white with your pink, it won't matter. Try not to smudge my silver. Okay, so it's going to be very, very, very delicate little pale pink. All right, now the green, and this is moss green. Now when you unmold this, if you get a little bit of your resin underneath the inlay, it's not the end of the world. It's not going to ruin anything. You just need to trim it off. So don't stress too much. It's not the end of the world. It'll be fine. And I'll probably get a little bit under anyways, and I'll show you just how you can deal with it. See, I'm getting a little bit of my mica powder on the actual mold now, which is a bit of a pain. Oh gosh, oh, that's flower. That's lily. I don't know why, I must have missed that little bit. Feel free to fast forward. It's only going to take me a couple of minutes, not worth me fast forwarding really. Right, so I need to put some colour back on that little lily there. It's looking really pretty, isn't it? I don't know whether it'll stay because it's got a tiny little bit of green on it, on the tinge of it now. So, all right, so I'm going to take this over to my bin and I'm going to blow as best I can. I may actually have to take it out, clean the mold, stick it back down again because I forgot. Oh no. We're not perfect, are we? We forget these things. But as I always say, do as I say, not as I do. So it would be much easier for you to dust it over here. Keep your mold clean. Look, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm just going to go and clean it again. It's no big deal. I only human. I make mistakes. And I'm not the sort of person that's going to, you know, fast forward and go, oh, look what I did. I'm so good. I'd never make any mistakes. I'm not that sort of person. If I make a mistake, you'll be the first to know about it. And we can learn from it and not make the same mistake again. Hopefully. All right, so just cleaning off the excess. Same as I did last time. And you can see there that you can see it's got like water drops on it because of that wipe. So now we need to go in and get those water drops off. Like so. I think that's got them all. Okay, look how pretty that looks. I'm kind of upset that I've done butterflies around it now because look, it just looks so good. Alright, here we go. Let's see if I can put this down again in one go. I don't want to touch the surface, although I'm going to have to press down, but oh gosh, I'll just have to be really careful that I don't take too much of that colour away. But like I said before, it's the colour that's touching, you know, the inlay that's going to stay there. So me taking a little bit of colour off the top isn't really going to hurt, I don't think. Let's make sure it's pressed down, mainly these little edges. And try not to touch the mould. Try just to touch the lily. Okay, there you go. Oh, that was a bit of an event, wasn't it? Actually, I'm not going to pick it up, but look how gorgeous that looks. I'll bring you down because I don't want to pick it up. Look at that. Look at that. Stunning. And then afterwards, we can always go back in with our silver pen and add a little bit more silver. All right, so now I'm going to mix up my resin. And I'm going to put, oh gosh, I'm going to dip a toothpick in there and just have a really, really pale blue in my resin. It's quite a deep mold, so I think I'm going to have to, I can either do 2 layers with my casting resin, or if I'm going to use my deep pour resin, then I can do it in 1 layer. So but the deep pour takes a day and a half to cure. All right, I'll have a think about it. Okay, so what I've decided to do is I'm going to do it in 2 layers, and because I don't want, you know, when you do layers and you join your layers, you might see a little ridge halfway through. If you pour your next layer before it's cured, like it's still sticky, but cured enough that it's not going to like drop through, you shouldn't see those joins. So I've put like a tiny little bit of this, like I said, I poured it onto my toothpick and let the drip off, and then what I had left on the toothpick is what I mixed in there. So I did that. Colour Passion Ocean Resin Tint. So I did 80 grams of A, actually it was 82 grams of A and 40 grams of B. Because it's a 2-to-1 resin. Now I'm going to let it sit onto my stick and then drop down gently, so no splashing. Now, because I've dusted all my little butterflies with mica powder, the resin's not going to stick to all those little grooves and patterns and things in the butterflies. So if you have got a mold, not necessarily this one or one of mine, but if you've got a mold that's got lots of little intricacies, is that a word even? It's a really good idea to dust the areas, because it'll stop the it'll stop the bubbles from attaching to all those little, stop dripping, all those little patterns and things. So I thought I'll just do this because I used, did I say I used the Platinum 360 Plus? Love it. It's a 2-to-1. It's a nice thin resin. I did put it in my debubbler, but if you don't have one, which I think if people are doing resin, everyone needs one. It just takes the bubbles out. You can either get a vacuum chamber or one of those bubble machines. Yeah, get the bubbles out if you're going to do a clear pour like this. If you're doing something that's got colour in it, it's not that important. But if you're going to do a clear pour, I think it's important to do that, you know. Do it to the best of your ability. Okay, now I'm going to use my little silicone brush here, which has got resin stuck to it. Peel that off because I don't want to scratch my mould. So I can see a couple of little bubbles. I'll just flick them up. I'm not saying I'm not going to have any bubbles in this, but I'm just trying to avoid as many bubbles as I can. Now when resin cures, it gets hot, and I don't know why or how it does it, but it releases bubbles. When it gets hot, it does. So I'm going to give, it's relatively deep-ish. It's probably a centimetre deep that I've poured, so maybe like a third of an inch. Not quite sure what that is. So I feel as if I can torch very lightly with my little baby torch. Wouldn't do it with my big daddy, but I can do it with my little baby one. This is just, I think, like a cigarette lighter torch. So do that. Now I have got a couple of little dark pieces. I think it must have been the crusty bits from around the edge of my colour. So I'm just going to pick those out. Again, best of your ability, guys. If you see something, don't go, oh, it'll be fine. My gosh. I watch some resin artists on YouTube and they're a mess. And I'm thinking, why don't you clean that? Like you can see that there's glitter in it. Why don't you clean it? It does my head in. So anyway, best of your ability. Now there's another little bubble there. I'm just going to babysit this for a few minutes. And just if there's a bubble, I'll just pick it. You can either just pick the bubble out with your tool, or you can just give it a little bit of a heat. So that's pretty much it. We just don't want bubbles on the surface where the inlay is touching the mold. We don't want those ones. Those are the important ones to get out if you see them like that. So obviously there's a little bit of resin going underneath that little edge there, and it's created a bubble on that little tip as well. There's a bubble. Let's wait for it to come up to the surface and then we'll zap him. So anyway, hopefully this video has been a little bit informative. I'm not going yet, but hopefully it's been a bit informative for you. See, there's the bubble. Got him. Just wipe it off. Now, I will let this sit for about 2, maybe 3 hours. I'll come back and I'll do another layer. Just the layer of the same colour again, just to give that ever so slight little hint of blue. So that's where we're up to. Not full by any means, half full. It's looking so pretty. I'm excited. All right, see you in a few hours. All right, I mixed up another batch. This is still sticky. I put my finger in it there. It's still sticky, but I'd rather do it now when it's still a little bit tacky so that I don't get that join mark. So this one, I mixed up 100 grams of part A and 45 grams of part B. And hopefully I've got enough. I think the mold takes about 250-ish grams. I'll have to measure the piece when I take it out because I haven't actually made this mold before, so I was just guesstimating, but I will weigh it afterwards and we can see exactly how much it weighs, how much it uses. And I can see I've got a couple of little tiny bubbles on the first layer, but there's not much I can do about that now without ruining everything. So basically that's it. Just going to push my resin towards the sides just a little bit more, just to get the tips of those butterfly wings covered. There we go. And it's Mother's Day today in Australia, Sunday, and my family's just arrived, so I will leave that at that and go and spend the afternoon with my family and my grandson. So for all you mothers out there, happy Mother's Day, and I'll see you tomorrow for the unmolding for this. All right, I'm back. Family's all gone. Had a lovely lunch and afternoon tea with everybody. And now it's time to unmold. See, it sets up really quick, doesn't it? The 2 layers of the Platinum 360 Plus. You can get a whole project done in like 6 to 8 hours. It's amazing. All right, now I can see I've got a couple of little bubbles there on the ends. But when I turn it out, I should be able to just shave them away. We'll see. Okay, are we ready? I haven't got any black card to look at it with. Okay, here we go. So remember, butterflies, flowers on a lovely summery day. Blue skies is what we're looking for. All right, so when we turn this over, we're going to see the back of that silicone inlay there. And hopefully I haven't got too much silicone running underneath. I should be able to just pick it out with my finger. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, look. See how the colour comes off? The colour comes off your little inlay beautifully. So it's gone. I don't know if you can see. There's a tiny little bit of silicone just there. See that little tiny bit there? That's a bit hard to see with the gloves on, but just pull that out. So that little tiny bit there, can you guys see that little bit there? We can just trim that up later on. There's a tiny bit there as well. Again, we can just trim that off. Oh, look how pretty it is. Oh gosh, my pink's really pale, isn't it? I did think about putting a slightly darker pink on, and I thought, oh, let's make it just really delicate and pale. So I'm going to pull this gently. If there's a little bit of resin that has gone under, it might tear your inlay, so just do it gently, because remember, it's very thin. Depending on how deep your little bowl is with the etching on it, will kind of determine how thick your inlay is. This one's really thin. Ta-da! Look at that! Look at that! And there's our piece. Oh, it looks so pretty, you guys. My pink, oh, can't really see the pink all that well. Not really. All right, now, because I can't see the pink very well, I want to get a pink marker and see if I can go over some of those little lines. I'm going to see if I can do that. Let me go and find my acrylic markers. So with your overflow, if you've got any overflow, you can either use a little scalpel like this. I would advise you to cut away from yourself though, not towards yourself, if there's any there. Like so. I really haven't got much. You can kind of feel it. Well, this one's got a tiny bit. Just cut away from yourself. Don't cut toward, don't do this like you're peeling an apple, okay? Because you could cut your thumb. Always on an uphill away from you. Not much at all, but see there, I don't know if, can you see them? They're only tiny, little thin pieces. Any more? It's done pretty well, hasn't lifted a lot at all. Just a tiny little bit. See that? Can you see that little tiny bit there? Hopefully you can see it. So this would make a lovely coaster. You could put your cup on that for sure, and it'll catch all the condensation that runs off your glass. If you're going to put a cold drink on it. I think that's it. Wasn't much at all. Easy peasy. If you've got sort of bigger, thicker, chunky bits, you can use this just to sort of go across if you've got any big bits, but I didn't need that one. My little clippers. All right, so I've got my paint marker. And it comes, whoops, that's the back. Got lots of colours in there. So let's pick the pink one. I don't think I've opened this before. It's probably one of those that I'm going to have to push. Yeah, I'm going to have to push to get the colour to come down. So you could do pink, you could do black, maybe even black would look nice. I might do a combination, oh there it comes, might do a combination of some black and some pink. The white that I've put on there is quite sort of silvery, so it's probably why you can't really see the silver. I might just follow these lines. Can you see those little lines there? I don't know if this is going to look any good or not. If it doesn't look any good, I can just wipe it off. It's no big deal. Like that. What do you think? But yeah, you know, if you can try it, if you don't like it, wipe it off. No big deal. Probably could have just gone with a darker pink mica powder, I think. Would have looked better. Oh, look what I've done, you guys. I've missed a leaf. How did I do that? I made it white instead of green. Oh no! Oh, I'm a duffer. I don't know how I managed that. I thought I had all my leaves done. Oops. I thought I had my leaves done. I'm just doing this on just a couple of these sort of raised areas. Don't think I like that. It's just a few raised areas. You can sort of pick and choose which ones you want to do. Like so. And then, yeah, you know, if you don't like it, just wipe it off. It's fine. Not a drama. There we go. So that's the pink. Now, I think what I'd like to do is, oh, that's going to be too thick. I think I'd like to do in here with black. Just to get them standing out a little bit more. Oh, Izzy, she's crying. My Izzy, she's 13 now. She gets a bit clingy, and she wants to be with me constantly. So she's crying at the gate. So these are the areas that I had initially coloured silver, but because my flower is white, you really can't see them anymore. Oh gosh. Anyway, look, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you like what I've created. Resin's always a bit of a challenge, isn't it? best laid plans and all that. It's always a bit of a challenge. I need to put some green back in that leaf. So I'm just going to dust it on now. It'll stay because I'm just dusting it on. But if you wanted to, you could just mix this with a little bit of water, and it'll sort of become a paste. I don't know how much will stay on there. Maybe I'm lying to you. Okay, a little bit stayed on. Most of it kind of flicked off the sides. But anyway, got a little bit of green in there. So there we go. Now let's have a look. Put my marker away. Let's have a look and just see what it looks like with some black. Kind of feel as if I should outline each petal, but look, sometimes less is more. I can't pick it up. I can't pick it up. All right. Now, I'm going to grab my box to stand on. That's better. Now I can look through my screen. Otherwise I can't see what you're seeing. I wanted to have a look. I want to show you the butterflies. Or as I used to say when I was little, the flutterbys. The butterflies fluttered by. There we go. So that's the edge. You can see that they sort of stick up a little bit there. And there's our flower, and just going to put a little bit of black card behind it just to see what that's going to look like. Wow, that makes the white flower really stand out, doesn't it? So if you're unsure about, whether to back your piece with anything, you could always try different colors. There's just some white paper towel there, and you can see it's got a very, very faint blue hue to it there, which is what I wanted. But if you did want to back it with something, you could try out different colors and then see, what color that you wanted to use. Otherwise, you can just leave it as white like that. Let me know what you think of it. Oh, it's so pretty. I love that flower. Let me know if you want me to make these inlays and add them to my store. All right, better go. I need to have a little lie down with my dogs, put my feet up, find a movie to watch. Yep, sounds like a good thing to do, doesn't it, on a Sunday afternoon? All right, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Happy Mother's Day. Love you all. Bye for now.